Continuing from My Little Bhakti Companion by Chaitanya Charan, Chapter 1, Question 2. Why does devotion need to be exhibited publicly? Devotion is an emotion of the heart. Why does it need to be exhibited publicly, as in street kirtans? Short answer. The public performance of devotional activities like street kirtans is not for exhibition, but for expression of devotion. Such services are the vehicle and the engine of devotion. Detailed answer. Devotion is not just an emotion of the heart, it is also the destination of life itself. Gita wisdom explains that we are eternal souls whose topmost destiny is an everlasting life of love with Krishna in his supreme abode. What defines that abode is devotion. Everyone there is purely devoted to Krishna. What propels our journey to that abode is the growth of devotion into the most prominent and dominant emotion of our heart. Service as the vehicle of devotion. Devotion, like any other emotion, is real only when it is expressed. Imagine a mother who claims to love her baby but doesn't do anything when the toddler starts crying. Would we consider her claims of love for the baby real? Unlikely. In fact, we could be forgiven if we started doubting whether she was the real mother of the baby. Similarly, our devotion is real only when we express it through service to Krishna. Anybody can claim to possess devotion in the heart, and many people do. It is the regular rendering of service that separates authentic devotion from shallow or pseudo devotion, just as it would separate authentic motherly love from its shadows. We might object. Krishna resides in our heart and already knows whether our devotion is real or not, so why do we need to express it? Because Krishna's world of love is accessed and relished only by those who express their love through service, in the spiritual world, Krishna's pure devotees strive to serve him in multifarious ways. Through the rendering of service and the resulting reciprocation of affection, both the devotees and Krishna savor the joys of divine love endlessly. The spiritual world would be a very dry and boring place if no one expressed their emotions at all. Without the heart-warming dynamism of service, it wouldn't be much of an inviting place. Certainly not a place that we would like to make our home eternally. It would be more like an office filled with poker-faced and tight-lipped people, a place that we would want to leave as soon as possible for more pleasant alternatives. In fact, it is because many people have such bleak notions of the kingdom of God that they don't strive to return there. As we are aspiring devotees, we don't have the oceanic devotional emotions that the residents of the spiritual world have, but we do have drops of devotion, drops that we can express by doing various services. Another objection might be, when devotional service is done publicly, might it not degenerate into a public performance meant to garner prestige in a pious culture that exalts such activities? Possibly. If we chant only in public, then such chanting might be for exhibition. That's why Vedic wisdom urges us to chant at every possible opportunity, in public and in private. If we chant as a rigid discipline, both in private and in public, then we can safely infer that the devotion we are expressing and striving to express is authentic. This hazard of the public performance of devotional service is more than counterbalanced by its advantage, benefits that extend far beyond the participants. For example, public kirtans benefit not just the participants, but also all the onlookers whose dormant devotion is stirred by these spiritual stimuli. If the onlookers just hear the sound of the holy names, their devotional journey begins. If they appreciate the kirtan, that journey gets a small but significant push. If they participate in the kirtan, that journey gets a major boost. And if they cherish the sweet memory of the kirtan and seek to re experience that joy by associating with devotees, their devotional journey towards Krishna takes off real fast. Thus, service is the vehicle through which we express our love for Krishna and also help others in their spiritual journey. Service as the engine of devotion. Service doesn't just express whatever devotion is present in our heart, it also kindles more devotion. Vedic wisdom explains that love for Krishna is not something that we import from outside, as is the case with love for any worldly person. Krishna is our innermost lover, whom we have temporarily forgotten, whereas any worldly person is an external lover whom we temporarily love for a brief lifetime at the most. Just as the therapy for amnesia offers stimuli that stimulate recollection of forgotten memories, the process of bhakti yoga is a spiritual therapy that offers appropriate spiritual stimuli to recollect our forgotten love for Krishna. Engaging in practical devotional service is an extremely potent spiritual stimulus. It arouses our devotion both internally and externally. Internally, it purifies our heart. Externally, anti devotional emotions and excavating pure devotional emotions. Externally, it exposes us to a cultural atmosphere that reminds us of our long forgotten life of devotional love. More importantly, it enables us to do many of the activities that the residents of spiritual world would do eternally, activities that we ourselves were doing long ago. These activities act as powerful memory stimulants, thereby accelerating our devotional recovery. The more our devotion is revived, the more we can experience the unlimited happiness that awaits us when we become reinstated in Krishna's world of love. And each one of these experiences prods us to keep moving along the journey back to Krishna. Thus, our performance of service and the subsequent experiences of devotional fulfillment act as the engine for our journey back to Krishna. Seated in the vehicle of service and powered by the engine of service, we can steadily, even swiftly, propel our devotion to its full potential. No wonder the Bhagavad Gita pairs its description of devotion with its prescription for service. The Gita 9:13 describes the Mahatmas whose hearts are filled with devotion, having taken shelter of Krishna. It then states, 9:14, that they determine like Dridha Vrata, engage in various forms of service, including constant chanting of Krishna's glories. Sadatam kirtayanto mam. By following their footsteps, we too can attain the supreme destination that they have attained. Thank you.